Hey, it's Matt from Custom Car Grills with a mesh install for the 2017 and newer Ford Fusion. To get this started, the bumper needs to come off of the vehicle and then the grill needs to be removed from the bumper. The outer chrome ring should be removed next, and I'll start on that by flipping the grill around so I can get to the tabs that hold it on. These outer tabs are somewhat tight, and using a flathead screwdriver can help aid with releasing them. Once the inner part of the tab is pushed in, then try to push the tab out. With all of the tabs released, then the chrome bezel can be removed and set off to the side for now. Next, let's take a look at the back of the grill. I'm going to be shaving the back completely off. About a 1/4 inch will be removed, and the easiest way to do that will be with some 1/4 inch wide tape as a guide. I'm just lining the top of the tape up with the top edge of the grill on the back. I wrapped this all the way around the perimeter, and then I grabbed a silver Sharpie so that I can trace out a cut line. The marker will make a high contrast line to cut along, and since I used tape, this will be a nice consistent depth. After the marker line is made, then the tape can be removed, and then I'll get out my rotary tool. I've equipped it with Dremel's number 543 cutting and shaping wheel to make short work of this job. Now, just cut along the line that was made as shown here. With the right tool speed set, this attachment will cut through the plastic with no problem. And it's best to keep a good steady hand. I don't want to have any wavy cuts that need to be fixed later. Once I've cut around the whole grill, then the back portion can be removed and thrown away. More than likely there will be some burnt plastic bits to pick off by hand after the cuts are made. If there is any unevenness, then this is the time to fix it. The top of the number 543 cutting and shaping wheel has a highly abrasive top, which is great for shaving down plastic like this. A few quick passes along the back should straighten this line out to look factory fresh. Next, I'll grab an X-Acto blade and trim off any remaining plastic bits that are left from cutting. I'm just gliding the blade along the cut area, not really digging in too much. What remains should be a nice straight cut. Now I'll flip this around and set it off to the side and go and grab that chrome bezel again. For this install, I want to strip the chrome and paint the bezel black. If the installer wants to do this portion, and if fully stripping the chrome off proves to be too difficult, at a bare minimum the bezel should be scuffed up with something like a red Scotch-Brite pad or a medium grit sandpaper. Air tools like this 3-inch random orbit sander will be a much more effective method of stripping the chrome if one is available to use. After the chrome is scuffed up or stripped off, I'll grab some high quality primer and some flat black trim paint and apply a couple coats. When it's finished, this new flat black bezel looks really sleek. Chrome is really difficult to get a lasting finish to adhere to. Preparation is everything, and a full strip of the chrome is recommended for long-lasting results. Once satisfied with the bezel, then I'll snap it back into the grill base. Make sure it's secured all the way around. After a quick look at the work thus far, this is looking really good. The flat black bezel is going to contrast nicely against our gloss mesh. And speaking of which, here's the mesh piece that we have for sale on our website. This is pre-cut and pre-bent specifically for the 2017 and newer Ford Fusion. All the right cuts have been made in all the right spots to get a nice clean installation. A slight curve might need to be added to have it gently rest on the back of the grill like so. Please keep in mind that the bent tabs wrap around the back of the grill and face towards the front of the grill. While we try and bend these tabs to the best that we can, some minor adjustment may be needed to make sure that the tabs are making good contact with the grill. Once I'm satisfied with the fitment, then I'll grab some cable ties and foam. The ties will give me a firm temporary hold of the mesh tied up against the grill, and the foam will help protect the finish of the bezel. I'm going to wrap these ties around the grill until I have a good flush hold of the mesh up against the back of the stock grill, to the point where there's no gaps. I like to have the head of the tie on the back of the mesh like so, and then I just loop the tail end around the grill and through the mesh and tighten them together. Though, it's best to not over tighten the tie because I don't want to distort the overall shape of the grill during this process. After I have it all tied on, then I'll grab some wire cutters and cut off the tail ends of the ties and move on to bonding the mesh to the grill. To get that job done, I'll grab some automotive goop. This stuff works great, but it does take a while to cure. A fast-drying epoxy like PlyoGrip cures much quicker, but it's much more expensive and harder to find. When using a goop install, I like to help apply it on with a toothpick. This can give me pinpoint accuracy and really get good control on how much I apply. The goop will take a full day to cure, so plan the install accordingly. Also, it's important to note that this adhesive will start to run down the back of the grill, but there's an easy method of keeping it from doing that. Off screen here, I have a small fan blowing in this general direction. A moderate crosswind is all that's needed to keep this adhesive from running all over. Also, it's important to avoid the front bezel tab areas where goop could drip through the front. If any of the adhesive gets through the front, that could quickly destroy the install. After I let this sit for a day, I came back and cut off the ties and then threw them away along with the foam. The modified grill is now complete and it can be reinstalled back on the car. Let's flip it around and see how it turned out. Oh wow, this looks great! It's completely different than the grill that we started with. I love this all blacked out look, and the new mesh is much more sporty than the horizontal chrome bars that were in there to begin with. With some basic tools and a couple hours, I was able to really transform the look of this Fusion. Here's a rendering of how the grill looks on a vehicle with the chrome bezel still in place. And with that, that's all I've got for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions about this install, then feel free to contact me, and thanks for watching.